All right, hello.
Hello.
Okay. How are you today?
Mm, I think I'm fine. I think
Okay.
I'm a bit under the weather, but it's still okay.
Oh, a bit under weather. Maybe because of some changes in the weather or something.
No, actually, I have been struggling with my work in my school. It's a graduation dissertation, so it's kind of a lot of work to do.
Oh, and at the same time, you need to juggle it with your prep for the IELTS test.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terribly overwhelming amount of workload that you need to deal with. Okay. All right. So, we can begin with a part one topic. As you can see on the screen, we have the topic of science, right? Okay, the topic of science. And the question is, do you like science?
So not actually. I really hate physics and chemistry. I find it boring. I find them boring and really hard to like to do it. Yeah.
Okay, really hard to like to do it. What do you mean by do it? Can you be a little bit more specific?
So I I think I'm really bad at numbers and also some chemical formation. I can't deal with this. I can't do
Okay.
those exercise. Yeah.
You don't think you have a flair for numbers, right? Okay. And at the same time, with the subject of chemistry, there are a lot of like formulas.
We're
Okay.
from the
There are a lot of chemical reactions and substances that we need to remember. Okay. Chemical substances or
from
formula, or even reactions. Okay, and with physics, you can talk about, oh, there are a lot of complicated
theory.
theories or concepts. All right. And at the same time, I don't know if you have ever heard of the word perplexing.
Plex.
Okay, yes, perplexing. Have you ever heard of it?
I think I have heard this, but I don't know well about it.
Okay, yes, perplexing, it just means like difficult to understand or confusing.
Ah,
Right, yes.
Perplexing, perplexing,
Okay, once again, perplexing.
plexing,
Perplexing. Okay, so you can say, oh, I find them very
plexing.
perplexed. Okay, I find them very perplexing. So, we can stick to the organization of your previous answer, but we can change the word difficult to perplexing. And after that, when you say, "Oh, I think it is very difficult to do them," you can be more specific. Specific. Okay, with chemistry, the formulas, the substance, and with physics, the theories, the concepts. And I don't have a flair for numbers, something I don't have a flair for numbers. Yes. So your answer can be significantly more detailed and lexically rich. All right. Yes, really good. And when did you start to learn about science?
Mm, I think I began learning basic science in primary school, maybe around grade three. At first, it was really fun because we learned about just plants and animals, but it got harder later on.
Mm, okay. So at first you start learning about plants and animals. So what kind of subject are we talking about with plants and animals?
So I remember the name of specific subjects. I think it's on extracurricular activity. And when
Oh,
I had a chance to go on vacation at a farm. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I learned how to plant a small tree. It's kind of fun.
Okay, so you got an early exposure to the kind of subject, but later on, the kind of knowledge began to become very like abstract, right?
Yeah.
Abstract or
Like,
perplexing. So it took out the fun part of science. Okay, you can say, oh, later on it became very
you're right.
theoretical, and less practical.
Oh, right.
Okay, so you can say, oh, and my early interest faded away over years, something like that. Okay, yes, yes, really good. We can move on to be talking about lost items. Okay. Have you ever lost some things before?
Um, I think I lost my keys once when I was in my high school. So at that time I was rushing to school. So I was in a rush to school. So it was a nightmare because I couldn't get back to into the house. Since then I have always like um, be more mindful about my belongings.
Okay, yes, really good. Very smooth answer. Can you help me to repeat this phrase again one more time?
Was rushing to
Okay, rushing, right? Rushing. Okay. The last time it was a little bit like rushing. It should be rushing. Okay, and this one belonging.
belonging.
Yes, okay. It is not like belonging, right? Okay, no,
Belonging.
belonging. Okay, yes, yes, yes. And will you post on social media if you lose your item?
Um, so yes, I probably would because I think social media can be a incredibly effective way for spreading information in a quick speed, in the really rapid speed. So I have seen many cases where people actually get their things back thanks to online posts.
All right, yes, yes, yes. In an incredibly effective way, right? And I have seen people, so a lot of good things. However, here I want to introduce you a word of you can say incredibly effective way or something like that, like you said, and you can say, oh, thanks to is massive reach. Okay, massive reach. It means it can reach a massive number of people online rapidly. Okay, you can say rapidly instead of at a rapid speed or something like that. Okay, you were a little bit struggling with that, so just oh, it can spread rapidly. Or at the same time, rapidly, you can use the word swiftly if you want to, like this. Okay, swiftly. All right, yes, 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 yes. And how about this one? Do you report to the police when finding something lost by others? Okay.
Yes, I think so, especially if the item looks valuable, like a phone or a wallet. Um, so I think reporting to the police is the right thing to do because the people who lost their belongings can track down um their lost their lost items and like the items can go back to the rightful owner.
Okay, okay. This one, the police. The
Um,
police.
um,
Okay. It is stressed on the second syllable, right? Okay, yes. One more time, please. Police.
Police.
Okay, the police. And yeah, for sure, when you report to the police, the owners can easily track down their lost belongings, right? Okay, why is that? Why is it easy for them to find their lost belongings?
So I think with like phone with wallet, they may be there may be a ID card in it.
Mhm.
So the police can contact to the owner with the information on the ID card, and they can, I think nowadays they can post the lost item online to find the the owner. Yeah, the
Mm.
owners too.
Okay, so maybe you can say the police, they have the access to the information of the owners, right? And you can trust them. You can trust them. Okay, they have the authority, the power, and the access to make sure that the items can be returned to the right owners. Okay, yes, 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 really good. We can move on to part number two. Okay. All right. Describe a place you know where people can see a lot of wildlife, like animals, like birds, like insects, things like that. Right?
So
You have anything
I,
in mind?
I can try, but I'm not sure about this topic. Um,
Okay,
so,
okay. This one can be
uh,
hard. Yes, yes,
so
yes.
I I think one of the most fascinating places I know for observing wildlife is Cúc Phương National Park, which is located about 120 kilometers southwest of Hanoi. So it's actually the oldest national park in Vietnam, and it's surrounded by mountains, dense rainforest, and beautiful streams. Uh, so I have been there twice, and both visits were unforgettable. The parks is home to a wide variety of animals, including some endangered species. So if you go early in the morning, you might ha even see like flamingos swimming in a peaceful lake. And when I first visited this park, I had just finished my high school exams and needed a break from city life. So uh, I think this experience have helped me relax a lot. And by the time um, we reached like the Primate Rescue Center, I had already seen several animals and colorful butterflies. So I wish I had brought a better camera with some high quality lens, because my phone died halfway. So if I hadn't forgotten to charge my phone the night before, I would have captured some amazing shots. So I think visiting Cúc Phương Park National Park was not just an eye-opening experience, but also a reminder of mm, the environmental protection. I think so.
Okay, okay, okay. The part when you mentioned if I hadn't forgotten to charge my phone, I would have captured a lot of amazing shots. I think it could be better if you say, well, amazing shots of the animals or something like that, right? Okay, because once again, we want the keywords in the prompt are emphasized, right? We want them to be emphasized. Okay. There was a time when you mentioned like what rescue center?
I, I don't know, primate, like
Like this, right?
so.
Like
Yeah,
okay, yes, yes,
but
yes, yes.
I just
Um,
mentioned it's popped up onto my head. I don't
yeah, primate. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Primate rescue center. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, you mentioned Cúc Phương National Park. You talk about flamingos and other types of animals, which is a plus. Okay, I've always encouraged people whenever they got this kind of topic, just show the examiners a wide range of animal-related kind of vocabularies. It can be flamingo, it can be monkeys, it can be primate, or it can be even like mammals or something like that. A lot of good words like mammals, lizards, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
You also use past perfect. By the time I reached, I already seen a wide variety of animals. At the same time, you can use word for now. Okay. You will say like both, I'm sorry, both domestic and exotic fauna. Okay. Maybe we can talk about some of the animals that have been imported into the country from other countries as well. Okay. And you know what? With this one, actually, we also have another I speaking part two for this quarter. And the topic is like describe a garden or a park.
Oh,
So with this topic, you can talk about the same thing of Cúc Phương National.
wow. But I think a side garden or a park is like easily more like easier to describe. I just
Um, uh,
confirm wildlife. I don't know much about wildlife.
okay. So if you got this topic, you talk about something that is a little bit
Private,
like a smaller scale, right? Okay.
right.
Maybe
Smaller.
like a nearby park, a nearby
Uh,
garden, stuff
right.
like that. However, you know what? Actually, a nearby garden, a nearby park, you can see a lot of wildlife here at the
Oh,
same time. You can
yeah.
talk about some birds, right? Mhm.
Yeah, right. Some birds, yeah, some small animals rather than some
Mm.
primate or lizards.
Okay. Like squirrels. We can talk about squirrels. Okay.
Oh,
Some. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we've described a garden or a park. You can talk about your nearby park, and it can also be a place where a lot of animals are there. You can spot a lot of animals. Okay. So you can choose between either of them. All right.
okay.
Let's move on to part number three. And before we move on part number three, I will increase the size of the word here. Okay, so between visiting a place, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Like what can be the what can be some of the ways that can promote environmental awareness and animal awareness in society? What are some ways?
Oh, so what else? I think like what I think there are several ways, but first responsibility must rely on the government.
Mm,
Yeah, they can um like carry out or execute some campaigns online and also offline to um raise people's awareness on some environmental issues like extinction of specific animals and also the deforestation so that the general public can um, enhance their knowledge and like become more focused on the problems, these pressing problems. And I think another way is school can incorporate some hands-on activity or experience that let children and young students visit some national park and let them like observe all the whole diversity of the environment so they can mm, appreciate more on the um the effort of environmental conservation. Yeah.
Okay, to let them see the beauty of
Um,
nature. All right, to let them appreciate that. And when the appreciation is fostered, they are more likely to put efforts into the conservation efforts, okay, or conservation projects. All right, yes. So from now on, when it comes to ways or something like that, first of all, you think of government.
Government.
Okay, you think of school,
Cool.
right? Okay, and you can think of cities.
Beautiful.
Okay, citizens. With government, they can do like organize campaigns, like you say, both online and offline to raise awareness. And school, we can talk about incorporate something like that, incorporate different extracurricular activities. Okay, and with appreciation, you can use the phrase of foster.
Appreciation.
Okay, foster the appreciation and then at the same time raise their awareness or enhance their awareness. Okay, yes, really good. In the beginning, maybe you were a little bit shaky, but then you regained your composure and your calmness, and then the answer just flowed. Okay, yes, really good. Hopefully, in the real test, you could do the same thing. All right, do not lose your cool. Okay, do not lose your cool. Okay, so how about this one? Your favorite food, okay, but it should be at a traditional festival or special event in your country, not just like a favorite food in a general sense. It must be tied to a special celebration,
I,
traditional.
actually, I think you know that I have mentioned about this food before, so let me like
Okay.
so
What is it again? Like,
the
okay.
young rice, the gốm, and
Okay, okay. It is something you say something like a place when you learn cultural
yeah,
value or something like that.
that's right.
Okay. But this one it will focus more on maybe like the creation and the taste of it a little bit. Okay. And how important of a cultural symbol it is.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So you can add that. All right. Yes, you can begin. Hmm.
Okay, so one of my all-time favorite traditional foods is gốm or young green rice, which is especially popular during the Mid-Autumn Festival in Vietnam.
Hmm.
It's a local delicacy that truly captures the sweet spirit of the
Hmm.
season. Yeah, and it also brings back warm childhood memories. So comb is made from immature rice kernels that are harvested early, usually in autumn. The grains are carefully roasted over a gentle fire and then powdered by hand. Then is traditionally wrapped in lotus leaves, which give it a subtle floral aroma. And the texture is soft and chewy. The flavor also like is mm, mildly mildly sweet with a little sense of nuttiness. I think so. So I have eaten comb countless times, but one memory stand out that when I was about 10, I visited my grandmother in Hanoi during the festival. She had already prepared a batch of fresh young green rice and served it with ripe bananas, which is the classic combination. So I remember I was sitting on the balcony watching the lanterns glow in the evening sky while chewing slowly to savor every bite. So what I love most about gom isn't just the taste but also the emotion it carries is a symbol of Hanoi charm and peaceful vibe of harvest time.
Okay, is it everything?
Okay, I think it's everything I can.
All right, yes. Okay, you talk about like you also cherish the vibe that it carries, right? Okay, once again, the vibe.
Vibe,
Yes,
vibe.
vibe. All right, yes. One more time, please.
Reason. Yeah, I mispronounced it at the first time.
Okay, and then you immediately realize that, right? Okay, this one made from. It is made from.
Made from.
Hmm,
Made from.
made from. Did you use word powders by hand?
Oh, it's my powdered.
Like
You,
this?
yes, powdered.
Okay, powder. Is it like you reshape it like using the force of your hands or something?
Actually, I think mm, they want to make it more chewy, so they powdered it. I think so.
Okay, like the same way when we do it with a flour, like
Mm,
we.
yeah, I think so. At first, it's quite firm. I think so. So they want to make it more chewy, more soft, softer. So they
Mm.
powdered it.
Okay, yes. And this one, this is a really nice word, but the pronunciation should be slightly altered.
Oh,
So we have this one. We don't say subtle, we say like a subtle, like subtle,
so subtle.
subtle, subtle,
subtle. Once again, subtle.
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 Oh no,
Um,
wait.
okay, the letter B is omitted and not pronounced, right? Okay, once again, subtle.
Subtle.
Okay, I will copy the pronunciation and paste it right here. And this one we say mildly, mild.
Like mildly.
Yes, mildly. So when you pronounce it, you realize something wrong, right? Okay.
I I have searched for the pronunciation, but I can't remember at that time. So
Mm.
mildly.
Okay. Yes. So in part number three, we have an interesting question like this because in part three, we just discussed a traditional foods, right? In the festival, and you mentioned like a kind of rice that we typically eat during Mid-Autumn Festival. And the question in part three is, do you think, do you think the influence of Western foods is having a negative effect on traditional foods?
So it's quite tricky one. I
Mm-hmm.
think um so I don't think the Western food have like to mm, like the like traditional food can't be influenced too much by the Western food because mm,
Mm-hmm.
for example in Vietnam the Vietnamese people have like a unique taste on food. They tend to love the food with spicy or savory flavor rather than the Western food, which has which have like a bland taste. I think so. So I think is don't have that extent of negative effect.
Okay. You know what? Western food, maybe we are talking about like
Burger.
burgers, like burritos, okay, pizza, or I don't know in Hanoi from some you TikTok videos I know about like the kind of snack like walking tacos or something like that. I don't know if you have ever heard of it. So the question is more like, do you think the widespread influence of these kind of foods have a negative impact on the ones like a pho, like banh mi, or something like that. We're talking about local food. And do you think like the influence of local food has been reduced by the emergence of the new ones imported from other cultures? Okay.
So I I mm, I think mm,
All right. It has some sort of influence, but it cannot totally replace
yeah,
the
I think
traditional
so.
ones, right?
I think
Okay.
it may become less common in daily life, but traditional dishes might be reserved for special occasions or holidays. So, I think there's with the growing awareness of cultural identity and healthy eating, many people are trying to preserve and promote their local food more. I think so.
And at the same time, you can mention the fact that traditional Vietnamese food, they include a lot of fiber or veggies or something
Yeah,
like that. And
actually,
this is something that can hardly be found in Western food, which emphasize more on the protein intake or the cheese related kind of elements. Okay, which can be a little bit boring if we consume it too much. And this one we say cultural, not cow, right? Cultural.
I, yeah, cultural.
Yes, cultural. Okay. So with this kind of food, sometime, especially young
Yeah.
people, they might want to give it a try, but not like every day. Okay, like
Uh,
everyday type of food, they would prefer traditional Vietnamese dishes and maybe some special occasions if they want to have a change in taste.
mm,
Okay, they can give these sort of dishes a try, but they can be like a staple. They cannot
staple.
become a staple.
Yeah.
Okay, they can't become a staple. All right, in the culinary lane.
Culinary. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. This one, describe a person you know who has chosen a career in the medical field. Okay, is there anyone in your mind?
So I must say, okay, one person I really admired who works in the medical field is my cousin Nhi.
Mm,
She is currently a nurse at a well-known hospital in my city. I have known her since childhood, but I truly got to understand her work ethic and passion when I stayed at her place for a week during my summer break. So he has a long black hair, wears glasses, and always dresses in a simple and professional way.
mm,
When I visited her, she was coming home late because her shifts were intense. One night, she was working overtime because a little boy had come in a high fever,
mm,
and she had been dealing with a lot of cases all day, but she still smiled and told me she loved what she did. Yeah, so I before that visit, I had only known her about her job on the surface, but seeing her in action made me respect her even more. So she told me she had always wanted to have children, and this job was her dream come true. I wish I had her level of patience and dedication. So if I hadn't stayed with her that summer, I wouldn't have realized how demanding and meaningful her job truly is. Mm, Like, I think by the time I start working full time, she will have already been promoted mm, promoted to a senior role, and I would love to learn from her. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, you didn't need even 1 minute of preparation. And you gave me a speech with like detailed scenario, like you visited her during a summer break or something, and you observed and you realize how dedicated she was. All right, amazing. Okay. Not much to talk about the content because it was really good. How about we do part three related to it? So, do you think hospitals can function effectively without the presence of nurses?
No. So no. I I think a hospital cannot function effectively without nurses because they play a critical role in patient care, from like administering medication to monitoring recovery, and also sometimes they provide emotional support. So I think they are the primary point, uh, mm, like um, contacting with patients and ensure that the hospital runs smoothly. So without them, the quality of care would decline significantly. I think so.
Hmm. Okay, and doctors will be assigned with extra work, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
they just diagnose and like planned a treatment. But yeah.
okay, and without nurses, they would need to take over the responsibilities of like daily care and something like that. And it could like make them overworked, okay, and reduce the productivity of the whole system. Okay, once again, you seem to forget your, let's say, your best friend. Okay, patience, right? Patient. Okay, so you mentioned the nurses, they like they take care of the administrative kind of work. Okay, they can make sure that the patients follow the treatment plan of the doctors. Okay, take care of uh, to take care of the patients, make sure they follow the treatment plans, and as you mentioned, emotional support as well sometimes. The next question is between nurses and doctors, who play a more important role?
I think mm, both doctors and nurses are play equally important roles in healthcare. They are the backbone of the healthcare system. So, while doctors often earn like mm, doctors are essential for diagnosing and creating treatment plans, nurses provide continuous care and emotional assistance for the patients. And I think both professions are vital for ensuring the patients receive the best possible care, possible service. So I can't decide whether more important whether work. Yeah.
Okay, and in your answer, you could make it even clearer by saying something like, without doctors, what would happen? And without nurses, what would happen? And then you can conclude, so they need each other in order for the system to run smoothly, something like that. Okay, you can make that. And once again, what's wrong? Once again, it tension again. Oh my God. Should be patient, right? Okay, 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 okay. It can be one of, in English, we have the word of fossilized. kind of mistake, right? Okay, so these mistakes you have carried it with you for a long time, so it is
Yeah,
not
easy.
very easy to take root of it. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Um, all right, we will find something truly difficult for you. Uh, okay, okay, I found someone. Describe an old friend you had lost touch with and you got in contact with again.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
So, I think let me remember some ideas.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Take your time.
Mm, okay. So so I think a time when the not something.
Okay, it's more like a person, not an
Yeah,
event, right?
like
Describe a
yeah, that,
person. Okay, you can mention the reason why you guys stopped talking to each other, or why you guys lost touch with each other, and what kind of events leading to the time when you and your friend reunited, things like that.
so I think a time um a time when they talk about uh, maybe it's okay, like uh
Mm-hmm. Or at the same time, you can talk about maybe a friend of yours, and you guys had a period of time when you had an argument, so you decided to part ways, and not, you let that person go out of your life, but then you guys like reconciled and you guys began friends again, something like that. You could talk about that if that something that truly happened.
so my old
Mm,
and friend and I had lost touch with is Ling, one of my best friend in my high school. We have known each other. We have been friends for about 4 years, but after the entrance in university, we have separated away
mm,
because of the hectic schedule.
mm,
So I remember one time when I accidentally met her again. It was when it was an occasion when I went to Vincom shopping mall. One afternoon, I was browsing through some stores where and I unexpectedly ran into Ling. Um, we hadn't seen each other in years, so we both thrilled to catch up. We
mhm,
decided to exchange numbers, um, and like went wandered around the mall together. And eventually, we found ourselves at a perfume shop. And I was drawn to luxurious fragrance. I had always wanted to buy it, but the price tag was quite steep for me. So Tom had Link had asked helped me ask for a discount. And after a bit of negotiation, I was ecstatic to finally buy the perfume I had wanted for a long time.
mm,
And so it was a memorable experience, not just because I got the item I desired, but also of the kindness and the supportive attitude I received from Ling. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you talk about like a friend of yours that you lost touch with due to busy schedule. And
Yeah.
after getting into university, you guys no longer stayed in contact, right? Okay. But someday on a beautiful day, you and your friend saw each other at a mall. So you guys decided to catch up, and she actually helped you to negotiate for a perfume that you had wanted for a long time.
Right.
Okay, all right. Can you help me to pronounce this one? The whole sentence like this.
We were thrilled to catch up.
Thrilled, right? Thrilled.
Thrilled. We were thrilled.
Okay. Did you use this word in your previous answer? We were
That's right.
thrilled, right? Okay, we were thrilled. However, last time the word thrilled was not pronounced very clearly. So, yeah, okay. Try to do it slower a little bit, okay, and enunciate it. All right, this one, eventually.
Eventually.
Okay. We don't say eventually, right? We say eventually, eventually. So I will write down here eventually, eventually. A perfume that I had desired for a long time. Desired.
Desired.
Mm. One more time.
Desired.
Okay. The last time it is a little bit like design, right? Design, design, design like this. Okay. So we need at the end. Desire, desire, desire. Okay. So part number 3. Can you tell me some of the reasons why people lose contact with others?
People lose contact with others. So I think there are a lot of reasons why people lose contact with other people. So the first thing coming up to my mind is some physical distance. Yeah, when someone moves to a different city or country, it becomes harder to stay in touch. And also, as people grow older, their priorities change due to work, family, and other personal responsibilities. So people simply grow apart emotionally and no longer share common interests. Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God. I love this one. Grow apart
Emotional.
emotionally. So when the interests and responsibilities no longer align, right?
Oh,
No
no.
longer align. Okay. The emotional distance will take place. Okay. And the emotional or mental distance, when they are formed, people just naturally pursue different paths and no
Yeah.
longer converge in the same path. Okay, yes, 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 yes. Okay, all right. And when you mentioned like the physical distance, right? Physical distance,
Mhm.
you can say it can lead to less face-to-face interaction, right? And at the same time, it can be due to different time zones. Different time zones.
Oh,
Different time zones, because I have some friends overseas, and when I'm sleeping, they're working and things like that. So even though I want to talk to them, it's super difficult. Okay, amazing. Okay, okay, okay. How about this one? An ideal and perfect place where you would like to stay.
okay.
Ideal
So
and perfect place. Okay, what is it? Perfect house, perfect
okay.
apartment.
Yeah. So I think mm, uh I think if I could stay in my dream place, it would be a small yet cozy villa located on a quiet hill near Dalat, a beautiful town in the central highlands of Vietnam. I have always been drawn to peaceful, and natural-filled places, and this location would offer stunning views of forest, cool, misty mornings, and also colorful flower gardens. Um, so I think the house would be built in a modern, rustic style, combining wooden interiors with large windows to let in natural light, and I imagine the living room would be have a fireplace, soft beige sofas, and some shelves filled with books. I would also love a small attic where I could paint and read quietly. Outside there would be a little greenhouse where I could grow organic vegetables and herbs. So, uh, the place would be ideal for me because I have always wished to live in a slow paced um and away from noise and stress. If I had the chance to stay there, I believe I would be much more relaxed and focused. It would be a perfect blend of nature and creativity. Exactly what I have been longing for, I
Mm.
think.
Okay, because you're working in like in design kind of fields or something, right? Okay, designing stuff. All right, I would be more relaxed. Once again, relaxed.
Relaxed.
Okay, because focused, you had the ending sound focused, right? And it would be unfair if you forgot the ending sound of the word relaxed. Okay, relaxed, focused. It's just a minor thing, but when you say slow pace, I could hear the ending sound like paced, which is
Okay.
not needed, right? Okay, just slow pace. Okay, slow pace. All right, yes, yes, yes. However, it would be even better if you could mention more past tenses. How, right? Maybe the question is how. So if
Oh.
it were me, I would talk about like where did I get the inspiration for this kind of ideal picture of my future residence. I could say, oh, I got the inspiration when I was reading a book or when I was watching a movie, something like that. And the character was living in the exact place and he got all the ideas for his creative project, something like that. So
Mm.
had it not been for that movie, I wouldn't have been inspired to paint my perfect future residence and work towards it, something like that. So I will write down here. You can talk about the source of inspiration to include past
And
tenses.
also past continuous.
Past continuous, yes, for sure. Past continuous, past perfect, or even conditional type 3. If it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have been inspired. Okay, okay. With part 3, can you tell me some of the factors that people consider when buying a home or a house?
So I would say there, I would say, um, the I would say most people consider the location first because it can affect everything from daily convenience to long-term property value.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, mm, safety, Safety nearby facilities like schools, supermarkets, and hospital matter a lot when it's come to some factors affecting the consideration in buying house. I think so. And in addition, people also look at the price, the size of home, and whether it suits their lifestyle. I think so.
Okay, suit. Once again, suit their lifestyle. Okay. You talk about like the location, whether it is in the central area, right? Or whether it is in the suburban or rural area. At the same time, you can be more details like with young people, maybe they will want like the kind of places in the heart of the city because it's more lively, more bustling. Whereas older people they prefer something more gentle, more tranquil, slower paced. Okay, be more detailed with the group of people. All right. And you also talk about the price, okay? How about like the neighbors? Can people evaluate their neighbors or have a overall picture of what their neighbors are like before they make the decision to buy a house or a home, something like that?
I think it's kind of hard to like see the attitude of the neighbors immediately. It
Mm,
has to live in a long time, in a certain period of time to see through the situation and also uh, like get along well with their neighbors. Yeah, I
mm,
think so.
mm, mm, mm. At the same time, maybe like if you know someone very close and that person is living in a neighborhood for a long time, okay, and you
Oh,
are intending to buy a property, maybe you would be more willing to relocate somewhere near that person.
oh,
So yeah, that can be an aspect of neighborhood that I'm referring to. Okay, yes, really good, really good. So another factor could
yeah,
be the
neighbor.
neighborhood. Okay, whether someone has a friend living there, it might affect the decision of buying the property. Okay, one more thing. You know what? A person who has strong opinions. But first of all, I want to ask you, in your opinion, what does strong opinions mean? How do you understand it?
So for me, I think strong opinions mean they quite conservative and they always stand by their values and talk like confident confidently talk about their opinions. I think so.
They're quite conservative, right? Once again, conservative.
Conservative.
Okay, stress on the second syllable. They are quite conservative. They will stand by their decision or their principles no matter what, right? Okay. You can use what?
Unwavering.
Unwavering. Okay. Yes. And unwavering here, it is an adjective. Okay. Yes. You can say they have unwavering beliefs. Okay. And they are not easily swayed,
Yes.
are not easily swayed or are not easily influenced. Okay. And I don't know if you have ever heard of this one before, resolute.
Resolute. Oh yes, I have heard about this one.
So how do you understand it? Resolute?
So I think resolute mean that you determined.
Yes, yes, correct. You're determined and you're not easy to change your opinion, right?
Right.
Strong and determined. Okay. Once again, resolute.
Resolute.
Okay, resolute. Yeah, yes. So, if you want to paraphrase strong opinions, you can use these words, right? Okay. And at the same time, I can give you some word like you can say the word
Principle.
principles, maybe be
Believe.
beliefs, and at the same time, we also have this one, class.
Oh.
Okay, yes. The moral ideas and the attitudes, like someone they has a strong ethos. It means a strong set of beliefs that they follow, that they practice, and they are not really easy to be persuaded to change their ethos. So right, yes. So you can use what ethos. Okay. All right. Yes. And yeah, how about you? Okay, what do you think about this one?
Maybe okay.
Someone who has strong opinions.
Mm. So I think maybe one person I know who has very strong opinions in my high school teacher, Miss Lan. I first met her when I was in grade 10,
Mm,
and she immediately stood out because of her confidence and direct way of speaking.
mm-hmm,
He she wasn't afraid to express her thoughts, um, even when they sometimes went against popular beliefs.
mm,
I think
mm-hmm,
Miss Lan has particularly strong opinions about education and how students should be taught. For example, she believed that the current systems focuses too much on memorization rather than creativity and critical thinking. Mm, what makes her stand out is that she is really conservative. She never changed her opinions just to please others.
mm,
And so she is not easily influenced, and or like she hold unwavering beliefs. So I think she had done a lot of research and had years of experience. So I think her views were always well supported. So if someone questioned her ideas, she would explain her point of view calmly but passionately. Uh, I think she truly believes in what she says, and stands by her values. If I had been taught by someone less resolute, I probably wouldn't have developed such a deep interest in confidence. I think so.
Oh, okay. Or you can say something like, I wouldn't have adopted a strong mindset in terms of creating my own identity and stick to it, something like that. Okay, creating a strong identity, stick to it, and not being able to be easily swayed. Okay, and we have the word beliefs here. We don't say beliefs, right? We say beliefs. Okay, the beliefs. All right, and one more question in part number 3. How do you think, like, do you think young peoples nowadays, they have stronger opinions than their previous generations? Okay, do you think they have stronger opinions than their previous generations?
I I think so. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
think young people today often express stronger opinions compared to previous generations.
Mm,
One reason is that the current generation has grown up in an era of instant information and social media, where expressing views is easier and
mm,
I think more encouraged.
mm,
So young people tend to um, feel strong urge to speak up for change. I think
mm,
so. In contrast, older generations were sometimes more reserved or cautious about sharing their opinions openly, partly due to some fears of criticism. Yeah, I
mm-hmm.
think.
Okay, so you mean like the younger generations nowadays, they are empowered
Yeah.
to publish their views and what they think. Maybe they are, do you think they are influenced by the forward-looking and liberating movements in Western countries? Do you think
Oh,
so? Democratic society, something like that. So they are more empowered, encouraged.
yeah,
Okay.
I think the wave of liberating from the Western countries have certain influence on the younger generation today, and like some like public figures
Hmm.
um, who are admired by massive audience have always been talking about their values and like openly and publicly. So many people following that are following that attitude and that behavior. Yeah.
Okay. They are not afraid of showing to the world what they believe, right? Okay. And they are less conservative. They're less reserved than the previous generations. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. You use word like a strong urge. Okay. And we have the ending sound urge, right? Can you help me to repeat it? A strong urge.
Strong urge.
Urge.
Strong
One more time. Urge.
urge.
Mm.
Strong
Yes.
urge.
Yes, yes, yes. This one. Cautious, not cautious.
Oh,
Cautious.
cautious.
Okay.
Oh,
Cautious. Cautious. Yes, yes, yes. And one more time, okay, at the end of this lesson, I just want to remind you of the word patient, okay? And for some reasons, okay, today patient has
repeat.
reappeared and haunted you, okay? So you need to get rid of it,
Yeah.
okay? Especially in your real test. Okay, yes, 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 really good. All right. The next lesson will be on Wednesday, right? Is it
Right.
true? On Wednesday from 2 to 4? From
Yep.
2 to 4 on Wednesday. And we will have another lesson on Thursday from 2 to
Yep.
3. Okay. And you know what? Mr. Cường told me like in the beginning, in total, we have 20 lessons. Is it right?
Right.
20 lessons. So um, the lesson on Thursday will be lesson number 19
Um,
on Thursday. And next week we'll have our final lesson. And I'm planning to give you a mock test in the very end. Okay,
okay.
in the final lesson, give you a little bit of a mock test to evaluate your current level. Mhm.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, you have just joined the evening class, the group, right? Is this true?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have one lesson tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
However, you know what? Um, so far in our one-on-one lesson, I've delivered all of the techniques, all the skills, something like that in all parts of the exam. And the evening course, the evening class today, I would say it's a little bit slower than what we have done so far. Okay, because they are just in lesson number 3 of the a big course. Okay, so in this evening we will study some part 1 questions
Okay.
regarding where you live, are you a student, or do you work, things like that. Okay, and it would at the same time be useful for you because I've also included some advanced vocabularies that we can use. Okay, as you may know, regardless of the forecast, in part 1 you will be asked either the topic of where you live or
Okay.
the topic of are you a student or do you work. So regardless of the forecast, okay, in the very beginning, you will see either of those topics. Okay, yes. So this evening we'll focus on that. All right,
Yeah.
to make sure that in your real test, you will be well prepared mentally and linguistically to tackle the inevitable questions.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see each other tonight, right? And
Uh,
on Wednesday as well.
yeah.
It's really good. Bye bye. See you later. Okay, bye bye.